Foundation. You know, that was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And, but he has so many things that you can tag to his name. But what I want to say about him is that he is a loving husband. His beautiful wife, Shirley, is here with us on the day. He has a beautiful family. All of his children are industrious and vicious. They're doing things. They are college graduates. You can say that, yeah, fruitful. And out of all of that, the most important thing about him is his contribution to humanity. He loves God. He loves the Word of God. He loves God. And even though he's no longer pastoring, he has pastored. But he preaches the Word of God, and every time I ask Dr. Barnes to come out of his busy schedule, he never says no to me. And so this next voice that you will hear, I'd like for you to just welcome him anyway. He knows he's at home. He can take his shoes off, all that. He knows him. Just stand up and welcome him. So he's coming now. He's coming now. Amen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God is good, isn't he?
Amen.
He is.
Yes, he is.
Good thing to give thanks unto the Lord. For he's ever merciful to all of us. I don't quite know what to do. I mean, I've already had church. Oh. He blessed us already. The pastor, instead of preaching for an hour and a half, I had to cut back. I think 15 minutes ought to do it. But the word is always good.
Yes, it is. Amen.
You all remember that advertising, good. The word of God is always good.
Amen.
And so it's a good thing to be here today for such a great man and Pastor Antonio.
Amen.
I know y'all got him yesterday. I was up in D.C. and I hope to be here, but my daughter's moving most of the office to New York, and my wife and I were trying to help her to get things done.
Amen.
And well, that's what parents do.
Yes, sir.
But I thank the Lord for being here and being in this congregation this morning. If you had invited me another time, I would have missed the sermon this morning. He's not only a preacher, but he's a teacher. It's always good when you can find fellow travelers along this road, this journey of encouraging people and loving them to life rather than to death. And so as I cut out 102 pages, I just want to briefly talk to you this morning. Well, first I want to thank God for my wife too. I think it was Shakespeare who said, "There's no sweeter meat." Well, that's another story. Today, our scripture reading will come from briefly Psalm 61. And Psalm 61 was written by King David to the chief musician upon mention now, a Psalm of David. And here's what he said: "Hear my cry. Hear my cry, O God. Attend unto my prayer. From the ends of the earth will I cry unto thee. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to that rock that is higher than I.
Yes.
For thou hast been a shelter for me, and a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in their tabernacle forever. I will trust under the cover of thy wing. For thou, O God, hast heard my vows. Thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. Thou wilt prolong the king's life, and his years as many generations. He shall abide before God forever. O prepare mercy and truth, which may preserve him. So will I sing praise unto thy name forever, that I may daily perform my vow. Can we take a little time to consider, lead me to that rock?
All right.
It's one thing to just simply talk to the Lord. But what about when you have a cry unto the Lord? When you are in trouble, we used to sing a song at my old church. When we are in trouble, we will cry like David. Lead me to that rock that is higher than I. And so David had many children from many wives. And this caused some friction within the home.
Amen.
Not only did David have many children from many wives, but he also had Uriah's wife too.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And sometimes we think God always punishes us for our sins. But most of the time in your life, you'll wind up being punished by your sin. But when you create confusion in the home, God is not punishing you for your sin. You're being punished by your sin. But when you go out late at night and drink too much alcohol and have a wreck on the way home, you're not being punished for your sins. You're being punished by your sins.
Talking that out.
Go ahead, Doc.
And so here was a man who had everything that a person could ask for. And the Lord also told him that I loved you so much that if you wanted something else more than what I had given you, all you had to do was to ask me.
That's it, you're talking now.
And instead of these young people breaking into other people's houses and stealing their stuff and knocking them in the head, and you can't even go out and sit on your own front porch in some of these communities. If we trust in the Lord and lean not to our own understanding, and in all our ways acknowledge Him and allow Him to direct our path, He said, if you keep my commandments, you can ask for what you will, and I'll do it for you.
Yes, sir. You're talking, Doc.
Yes, sir.
And so He says to David here, I've done everything for you, and yet it's never enough.
Lord have mercy.
In our own lives, it doesn't matter what God does for us. Enough is always just a little bit more than I've got now.
Lord.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what it is. But if you trust in the Lord. And here is David. His firstborn son named Amnon. He raped his half-sister, Tamar. And Amnon's full brother Absalom, David's third-born son, he was the one who found Tamar in her torn clothes, and she was crying. Absalom didn't do anything right away, but for 2 years, he secretly plotted against Amnon, and until the time came when he actually killed him. Absalom then fears the judgment of his father David, and he flees to his grandfather's house for 3 years. And finally, David told Absalom, I have forgiven you. Come home, my son. You don't have to worry about any retribution against your life. Absalom came home, and how did he repay David? When people show you some kindness, how do you repay them? And here is a man who had killed his brother, and his father forgave him. And he came back home, and Absalom repaid David by leading a rebellion against David, causing David and most of his household to run for their lives. They hid in a cave and slept on a rock when he had been sleeping in a palace since he had become king. Considering all of this, put yourself in David's shoes for a moment. As he is now alone, face to face with what has happened under his watch as king. Your firstborn son and heir to the throne is a rapist, and now dead, killed by the same son that is now trying to kill you. The same son that law and justice demand that the father put to death, but he forgave and pardoned him. Because of your weakness as a king and your laziness about how you ran the kingdom, all of your officials and most of your army have apparently turned their backs on you. And they are following now Absalom. All the people, your loyal subjects, who have loved you and supported your reign and rule, have rebelled and installed Absalom as king. Pastor, don't get too old and your steps get slow. Well, you started walking around with a cane or something, and come in one Sunday and try to make your way to your seat, and somebody said, we've chosen a younger king. And you said, where was I when this took place? There's something about people whoever can yell the loudest and who can leap over the pews and whoever can recite from Genesis to Revelation without looking in the Bible, and you have worked all of your life. When they didn't have anything, you gave them a part of what you had. When you went to the hospital when they needed you, and when you couldn't even get sleep because people called you in the middle of the night telling you about their trouble, and they didn't even know what condition their own condition was in, and you were trying to help them and love them to life rather than to death. But at some point in your life, people will turn their backs on you.
Yes, they will.
Yes.
And sometimes it's the ones that you did the most for. They will wind up turning their backs on you. And they will be looking after another God. There's a new sheriff in town who can leap higher and squall louder than you can. And the people will replace you, and you don't even know anything about it. Here is David, who had elevated all of these people who were his troops, and people who, when they did not have anything, he placed them in high positions so that they could take care of their families, or they own land and substance, and when they would never own anything but for the person who installed them.
All right.
All of a sudden, here comes the guy who is cut. He works out every day. Absalom, he's just like a statue. And when he walked, people looked at him as he went by. I dare you to spend too much time at the buffet and get a little. Let me move on. People so quickly forget who helped them when they were in their time of need. And as a result, the God has promised David is now seemingly ripped from his clutches. In one day, he went from living in the White House and now he's in the outhouse.
Yes, sir.
Not even the place to come in. He had to run from the palace. He didn't have time to pack.
Nope.
Look out.
This is where David is now. David is filled with regret, torn apart by sorrow, and carrying the weight of his failure, both as a father and a king on his shoulders. So as an act of worship and humility, he writes this powerful song to show us how to react when our world falls apart and we are feeling overwhelmed. You see, there was a family who came from Russia and they were at the synagogue in New York. And they were there for the Day of Atonement. And they were there praying and dancing, and the rabbi asked him, says, how does it look with all of these people in here dancing and shouting their blessings to the Lord? This man from Russia said to him, this Jew from Russia said, well, it looks great. But I just came from Russia, and you know, when you go down on the Day of Atonement in Russia, I said, the government, it takes pictures of everybody who goes and comes in the synagogue. And then they also send notices out to your employer to let them know that you actually attended the service. And then when you go back to work, your employer is going to call you in and ask you that are you no longer with the government? And so what are you doing? And he says, when you dare to go out to that kind of service, there's a whole different kind of dance than what you guys are doing in here. Because you have so much more at stake. And so it was because David had so much at stake when he wrote the song, Hear My Cry, O Lord. It was more than, hey Lord, did you just hear my prayer? When your heart has been broken, your world has been torn upside down, and you have been broken, and you don't know which way to go, and you don't know whether or not your wife is going to come back home, or your husband left, and you have not seen it in a one whole week, or somehow your child said he was going to New York, and nobody knows that he ever arrived or not. When you are in that kind of shape, you say, hear my prayer, O Lord.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's a different kind of prayer.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Than a comfortable prayer when all is going well.
All right.
And so when David cried, hear my cry, O Lord, attend to my prayer from the ends of the earth, will I cry unto thee. And when my heart is overwhelmed. Have you ever been overwhelmed?
Yes, sir.
Can you think back to a time in your own life when it was a matter of life and death?
Yes.
And you did not know how you were going to make it out?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been told by the doctor that you have some disease or some malady within your body that they didn't know how they were going to work it out? Have you ever laid on the operating table and you were praying to God that when I come off the table, Lord, please allow me to be just like I was before? Or have you ever been to a place where you got a letter from the mortgage company and told you were 9 months behind, and if you did not pay up in 60 days, that your stuff was going to be out on the street? Have you ever had your life turned upside down? Then you know what it means when you say, hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear unto my supplication. And here's where David was on that day. He had set into motion a chain of events that led to this day. God will bless you with a lot of things simply because you ask Him.
Yes.
But it may not be what you need.
That's right, that's right.
He will give you the desires of your heart,
Yeah,
but it may not be what you need.
That's right.
We're always begging God to bless us with this and to bless us with that.
That's right.
Tell the truth.
But many times what we ask for is not what we need.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Here's David. He had asked for all of these wives and these concubines, and he had 1,000 concubines.
Good gracious.
What would a man need with somebody else's
Good gracious.
Do you remember that passage of scripture that says that we don't know what to pray for as we ought?
Yeah, we know we don't.
The reality is that we are praying more from our ego than we are from our spirit.
Come on there, Doctor. Talk.
That's it right there. Tell us.
Ego.
Tell us. Man,
There are 16 probably different sermons that I'm thinking about right now. But let me just hit on one other thing here with respect to this. One of the things I started to talk about today was, how do you know God? Now, I'm not going to talk about it today, but let me just leave this little point quickly. Some of us only know God when we are in trouble.
Whoa.
There we go, Doc.
All right.
You remember when I said we used to sing this song, when we are in trouble, we will cry like David? How do you know God?
Great God from Zion.
You see, some of us only know Him when we're in trouble. We don't have a cry to God when our pockets are full of money.
Yeah.
We don't have a cry to God when everything is going on in our relationship.
Talking, Doc.
But when we are in trouble,
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
and so some of us are addicted to trouble.
That's right.
Jesus.
And then we come back to God every time saying, Lord, please bless me.
Come on now.
We are addicted to trouble because we don't want to do what the Lord has asked us to do. And so we always want to. Have you ever noticed that in many churches that the same people come back to the mourners benches that we prayed for almost every week?
Great God.
Lord, pray for me about me put out. Lord, pray for me. I can't get along with my wife. These are the same people who come back over and over and over again because they won't do what God has asked them to do.
That's it.
How do you know God? We make ourselves sick praying to God, asking Him to do for you what He has blessed you to do for
Yeah,
yourself.
come on.
Let me tell you what happens to you. When you only know God through the upset, through the 11th hour, the pendulum is about to swing and you're about to be put out, you're about to lose your car, you're about to lose your job, and you're always at the altar about that same thing. Upset. And it causes different hormones to be developed in your body. And those negative hormones cause you to have high blood pressure. It can cause you to have cancer. It can cause you to have all kinds of physical illness because there's always stress in your relationship.
My Lord.
Jesus.
There's always stress in your relationship with other people. There's stress in your relationship with people on your job. There's stress in your relationship with your church, your pastor. There's always stress in your life. And then you're constantly on your knees begging God.
My Lord.
And you're killing your own
Come on
citizen.
there, Doc. Talking there. Talking.
You're committing suicide and you're asking God to prolong my life just a little bit longer so I can go back and do the same stuff that you've been doing all the time because you have no intentions of doing what God told you to
Come on,
do.
Doc.
But yet we'll be at the altar.
Yeah, well.
Lord, I need you to bless me. They're coming to take my car away on Monday. And when He says that a good man will give a person a good day's work, God will bless you with a good job. But you're the one that has to get up every morning.
That's right.
You're the one that has to learn as much as you can about the job. You're the one that has to be so necessary to your boss that he'll fire 3 other people just to keep you on the job.
Great God, hallelujah.
Amen.
But that's not the sermon I'm preaching today.
All right. It's all right. That's
How do you know God?
Mm.
How do you know? Because when he's on your side, you know what most of your prayers will be about?
Mm.
Thanksgiving.
No question. Worship.
Oh my God, sometimes I just wake up and laugh. I just wake up and laugh
Yes.
about how good God has been to me.
Yes.
Because I love helping other people.
Amen.
And I thank God for my wife because I'm always gone to this place or that place. We got board meetings in Charlotte and I'm on the trustee board at the university and we're traveling this place and that place. But we put 20,000 families into brand new homes.
Mm.
We are teaching people about how to avoid the AIDS epidemic all over the southern United States and some of these southern cities and towns that look like a third world country. They still have outhouses and only one doctor in the town and people don't have cars and they're all 90% of the African Americans live in public housing and have no job, and when they go to work, if they get a traffic ticket and you have to go to court on the day you're supposed to be working, you're still going to lose that job as well.
Mm.
And then these local communities, they have criminalized poverty.
Yes.
They criminalize poverty by when you go to jail for that ticket, they fine you $350 knowing that the average wage in that town is only $140 a week. And they've already fined you over half of the money that you made for the whole week. And then when you can't pay it, they put you in jail.
Mm.
And then how do you get out of jail pay the fine if you're still in jail?
Wow.
So teaching these people about these things, we go around the country dealing with these particular issues. But my wife, she goes with me many of the times, and the times she cannot go, and she'll stay home and have everything ready for me when I come back.
Yes. Yes.
And I thank God for this. It's good to have a good wife.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
When you're blessed with a good spouse, that's a wonderful
Yes,
thing.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I am blessed.
Yes.
So here we are, dealing with the situation with David. And he crying out to the Lord because of everything that he had lost. One of the things that this story teaches us, that when things bad happen to you, we don't have to run to CNN and give a report on how bad people treat us. He didn't go downtown and call for a big demonstration and get 1,000 people marching.
All right.
He simply opened himself up to God
Yes.
and said, sometimes in your strength becomes your weakness, and your weakness becomes your strength.
Uh-huh.
You see, when I was a child, if something bad happened to you, you told your friend, suck it up. Just suck it up and go back. Don't get mad, get even. But your strength then becomes your weakness because now you've gone down and you shot somebody or you cut somebody and now you're in jail because you were strong.
Yeah. Wow.
Your weakness becomes your strength when you're weak enough that when you know that you want to hurt somebody and you know that you want to do the wrong thing and you just break down into tears and say, Lord, please take this evil thought from my mind.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Amen.
Somebody would call that being a punk.
Yeah.
But your weakness becomes your strength when you, oh good God, a tear is an intellectual thing. You think it only adds salt and H2O. But when you cry before an almighty God.
Yes, sir.
And you're crying and pouring out, God can't stand it.
Uh-oh.
He will come speedily to your rescue.
Yes, you will.
And so David, with all of his pomp and circumstances, he owned everything and everybody.
My Lord.
But here he was at a place in his life where he had to go down in sackcloth with his ashes and cry out to God. Hear my prayer. Give heed unto my supplication. So it is okay, men,
Amen.
that your weakness becomes your strength.
Yes,
My
sir.
Lord, my Lord.
You're not a punk just because that you are willing to cry out to God.
My Lord.
Amen.
Quite to the contrary, it takes a lot of strength
Yes.
to let your weakness take over. Wrestle with that one.
Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So here he was, as a Christian. Jesus is our example. Prior to calling the disciples, Jesus' best friend and closest relative outside of his mother was John the Baptist.
Uh-huh.
They were cousins. And like we did when I was a child playing cowboys and Indians, no doubt they were able to play Hebrews and Egyptians. So they were close.
Yeah.
They most likely traveled many times to Jerusalem for the various required feasts and shared their lives together until John calling to leave and go into the wilderness to prepare the way for Jesus to be revealed as the Messiah. But John is taken prisoner and is killed by King Herod. What does Jesus do? Does he preach a message on the kingdom of God, suffering violence? No. Does he call his posse together and say, let's go waste the enemy? He didn't do that either. Does he pull the disciples aside to tell them about the world hatred of all black people and all Jews? No. Does he call down fire from heaven as he could have done at that point in time? No. Matthew 14 said that Jesus withdrew alone into the wilderness. Wait a minute. You mean he didn't stick around and comfort the disciples? Jesus didn't proclaim Herod's eventual death as judgment. Jesus didn't appear on CNN and lead a protest down through the streets saying that Baptist lives matter.
Great God.
He withdrew. Our natural reaction to being overwhelmed is to do something